Well, good morning from the foothills of Fontana. Thank you for those who prayed for me and my wife. We got a house over here. I grew up in this city. It's quite developed now. But anyways, I want to share something that's on my mind. It has to do with lust. I know that's not a popular topic, but it is an issue throughout our society. It's getting worse. It has been worse for many, many decades now, and with the push of the woke culture and DIE and perversion and everything else, it's sad to behold. And so today is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm doing this as early as possible, maybe posted. I know I haven't posted anything in a while, but if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. If not, no biggie. I'm just kind of venting like I usually do when I do some of these things. And so being Super Bowl Sunday, it's almost a national holiday, so many people will probably skip out on church today. Some services will be canceled. Others may take the time just to show the game tonight. That's if people even have a Sunday night service nowadays. The halftime show will again be probably filled with all kinds of lust and perversion. And who's to say what's going to take place today? I know everybody complains afterwards, but I'm complaining ahead of time because I know what it's going to be like. And so they're going to probably give a stage for the demonic and, all of its ugliness, because anytime you have idolatry, and yeah, that's right, this particular event has become very idolatrous. If you're going to shut down church service, I would say you got your priorities wrong. But anyways, my wife was sharing with me the other day about a news clip she got a hold of, and so she actually watched it. It was Megyn Kelly. And apparently, I ended up watching it with her. She showed it to me. So Megyn Kelly was raving, about we're back. We're back. And so she went on to kind of gloat in her conservative viewpoint about how normalcy is back, and talking about how there's nothing wrong with showing off a woman's body and men being attracted to that, and it's a good thing. And she was talking about the Carl's Jr. ad that's going to be taking place this halftime, or sometime during the Super Bowl, I should say. And some young pretty influencer has gotten basically she's not showing anything, and so she's going to be selling sex basically. And so here are these conservatives that are all happy about it, because hey, it's not going to be all perverted like before. And even Bud Light, I guess they pulled their head out of the sand, and they're trying to make amends for their mistake and trying to do manly things now, instead of going with their little woke sissified stuff that they did last time. And so I remember doing a video some time ago. I don't know when I did it, but it was during the time when some twisted male thought he could call himself a woman and beat up on little girls in swimming events. And I asked the question, where are all the dads? Where are all the men that are speaking up and defending their daughters? It made me kind of mad. And so personally, I'm kind of happy that our current administration has gone out of the way to vocalize things that I agree with, that he's trying to put an end to this DEI stuff and all this wokeism that has infiltrated our culture, and made a vocal statement about the gender issue in the White House and the administration, that it'll only be male and female. Well, that's brilliant. I'm glad somebody finally spoke up for what should be a given. But anyways, I'm glad he done it. And now the conservatives are all they're getting a little bolder now. I don't listen to talk radio like I used to, because it just I get tired of people ranting and raving and have no answers, because the gospel is the answer, but they don't want to admit that, because they like their own little twisted way of looking at life and putting a spin on it, thinking they're okay. And so now they're going to be able to run away with their little deviant hearts and do what they do, because in my opinion, most of these conservatives, a lot of these conservatives who have a voice or have a show or whatever during the day, they turn off the morality when the cameras and the radio is turned off. And so that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And so I don't care what conservatives like Megyn Kelly are saying about how great a thing this is, that it's normal to show a scantily clad young lady drawing attention to herself for the sake of a commercial and saying, oh, that's wonderful. Lust is a sin that ruins everything that it touches. And in my opinion, tolerating it and promoting it should not be accepted. This is unacceptable. This ain't right. And I don't care if I'm the only one, and I know I'm not, that thinks this or says this. And as a father of 5 beautiful daughters, I think purity, modesty, decency, integrity, and good character are things that we should value, things that we should put as a priority. And whatever happened to saving yourself for marriage, and whatever happened to marriage? The Bible says that marriage is honorable among all, and the bed undefiled, but fornicators and adulterers God will judge. Marriage is honorable, and the bed is undefiled. In other words, it's a good thing. God knows what he's doing. And hasn't lust and immorality done enough damage for us to look at least kind of look around and say, man, we've got this all wrong? I know sex sells, and it'll be put in everybody's face in a big time way, because everybody's going to have their eyes glued to the television. Some are going to watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials, because this is when they spend millions of dollars to get your attention so that you'll buy their products, whatever they are, toothpaste, beer, cars, whatever. It's all going to be laced with this little immorality issue of indecency and sex. And we have these some conservatives gloating about how this form of indecency is better than the other form of indecency. No, it's all wrong. It's all moral. It's all lustful. And it really is a question of right and wrong. And who has enough integrity to do what is right and say what is right, stand for what is right. And because when everyone is doing wrong and you're the only one that's saying, hey, this is wrong, we should do something else, then are you the one that's wrong? I doubt it. The book of Job is one of the oldest books in the Bible. It predates all other books. And in that book, Job goes through a trial. Job goes through a trial, and the real basis of his trial was over his integrity, over the issue of him keeping a good heart, a heart that is right with God, a heart that does right when nobody's looking. And it's a tremendous book, because the whole book he's talking about his heart, questioning his heart, and questioning his own relationship with God, wondering what he went wrong, and on it goes. And towards the later chapters, Job makes a statement. Listen to this statement he makes in Job 31. He said, I made a covenant with my eyes not to look with lust at a young woman. In verse 4, he says, doesn't he see everything I do and every step I take? Verse 7, if I have strayed from his pathway, or if my heart has lusted for what my eyes have seen, or if I am guilty of any other sin, then let someone else eat the crops I have planted. Let all that I have planted be uprooted. If my heart has been seduced by a woman, or if I have lusted for my neighbor's wife, then let my wife serve another man. Let other men sleep with her. For lust is a shameful sin, a crime that should be punished. It is a fire that burns all the way to hell. It would wipe out everything I own. You think about that statement. He is talking directly about his own integrity, and he's talking about, listen, I've made a covenant with my eyes. I'm not going to go down this route. And yet lust is the biggest issue men deal with. And let's not just hold it there. Women too do the same thing. James talks about temptation as an unlawful desire, something that is out of bounds or restricted, that we shouldn't go there. And he says, temptation comes from our own desires, which entice us and drag us away. These desires give birth to sinful actions, and when sin is allowed to grow, it gives birth to death. And so all this stuff goes back to the garden. It goes way back to when life was good, perfect, and then in comes the tempter to seduce this woman who knew it was right, and because of her unlawful desire, something was out of bounds. She partook of it. She went the other way, and we've been reaping the destruction ever since. Now, I think about this because, we all have our own issues to deal with. Every person is going to be tempted when they're drawn away by their own lust. And yet, lust is put on a pedestal where everybody, is drawn to it like it's the right thing. It's okay. Everybody does it. No, everybody shouldn't do it. Somebody needs to say something. And today, while you're watching your Super Bowl, I hope you turn your head away from it. At least do that. My goodness, when you had to try to guide people through this, I'm not even pastoring right now, but you know what? I know the effects of this issue, how it's plagued America. It plagues marriages. It plagues, young men and young women, and we want to elevate it to a place where, the conservatives are saying, oh, good, it's back. Normalcy is back. No, sin has always been around, and it's going to affect people to their eternal destruction. Let's call it for what it is. And so I just wanted to vent on that because, I don't think anybody's going to call it out today. I don't think anybody, there's not going to be a commercial about decency or morality. They might play on some emotional heartstrings to sell a truck or something. But you know what? They might sell our patriotism, But I'm telling you, the big issue is that lust and that perversion is going to be propagated, and we're going to think it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's ruining families and people across the board. So that's all I have. Got to get ready for service this morning. You guys have a good service wherever you may find this. So until next time, keep on keeping on.